When Yasu punched out that paparazzi dude for Nana O, that's when Ren and the audience knew, oh, he love that girl. He in love. Because when Ren heard that, he was like, oh, shit. I'm finna lose my girl for real. And then when Rayra was like, oh yeah, now they saying that Yasu and Nana O together, but I know that's all lies. And it was lies, right? But Ren know better. He was like, look, I know Nana O has feelings for Yasu. I know Yasu got feelings for her too. But he loved her on a different level, child. And so this is when Ren is really being like, okay, I might have to put the pedal to the metal, because he's willing to risk his like career for Nana O, and I'm not willing to do that right now. This eventually leads to him proposing to Nana O, which is funny that this is all coming out in the scene where Rayra and him are dressed up as like, you know, bride and groom, because it's subtle foreshadowing to the fact that he's going to propose to Nana O. And we know exactly why he proposed to Nana O, right? It wasn't because of how much he loved her. It was literally just to chase away Yasu. He thought it was the only way to remove Yasu from Nana O's heart. And so when Yasu punches out that paparazzi dude, it really showed that he's because he's supposed to be trying to be a lawyer. So it really shows that he's throwing away that career that he was working so hard for. You understand how long law school is and how hard that is? That's no joke. To just be like, okay, F it, I'm about to go and do the band. He never wanted to do that. The fact that he even moved to Tokyo it was a huge deal in the first place, because he never wanted to do music as a living. He never wanted to leave his hometown. Like, that's why him and Rayra didn't work out. I mean, on top of the fact that he knew that she was in love with Takumi, but the point of the matter is that was the basis of them breaking up. And Rayra's talking about, again, thinking it's about her, talking about, oh, well, did he just lie? Was that an excuse to break up with me? He's like, no, girl. But the point of the matter is showing that he loves Nana O that much. So this is a pivotal moment, because this is when Ren is understanding, okay, Yasu may have me beat. It's just the fact that I have Nana O kind of like in my clutches, but I need to do something else to really sink my clutches into her, because I'm losing her. Just even the fact that he left, he's losing her. It's as if he loves her just as much, but he's not willing to risk his whole career. Like how they used to have that death pact, where it was like, you know, Ren, if I die, would you die with me? Like, that's how it was toxic, and it's unhealthy, and it still is. But it's just like they were on the same page. And same thing with Nana O. She knows she has feelings for Yasu. She knows he has feelings for her. But she does still love Ren, and she can't understand. She's like, I love Ren the same amount. I don't know why, but when I'm with him, I still feel lonely. Compared to with Yasu, I feel closer to him. They don't understand it, right? Of like just growing apart, right? And finding love for something else, whether it's, you know, his career, right? Feeling closeness to something else. Remember I said Nana O and Ren, they both didn't grow up with like families, right? So with Ren, Trapness is like another family for him, just like Blast was too. But now, you know, it's been, what was it? Like, it's been a year or two since he came from Blast and was with Trapness. So now this is like his family. Remember, this is why he got so mad at Nana O when she was just like, oh, F Sheen, if he in jail, that's his own damn fault. He was like, no, this is supposed to be like our family. So now when something happens, they F up, now they're just a stranger on the street. It shows how he views Trapness. Like, that's his family. Like, he creates these close bonds. People are not perfect, right? But he's gonna do what he can for his family. Compared to in the past, where he didn't have such a strong bond with anybody like that other than maybe Yasu and Nana O. And now he has these other strong bonds. On top of like trying to do what's best for his career. So he's like, look, I can't risk my shit like that no more. I'm sorry. So Yasu may have me beat. I'm gonna have to find another way to keep him out her heart. But this was a pivotal moment. And this is why he's like, when did I become such a cruel person? And this is before Rayra knows how he views like Nana O and his relationship. This is before she understands how like sinister it was for him to propose to Nana O in the first place, and how he wants to only have Nana O for himself, right? And so I know some people are just like, well, he doesn't mean to kill her like physically. We don't know that. Like I said, if you've seen my YouTube video where I'm talking about Nana O and Ren's relationship in depth, their relationship is based off of a real life punk rock couple. And it was extremely toxic and unhealthy. And the woman did end up offed. If you haven't watched that video, go look it up. It's on my YouTube, Shania X Trotter. So whether it's physically or emotionally, spiritually, whatever the case is, he wants to lately I've been thinking of, I want to take her out so I can have her all to myself. to the point where he's like, someone take me out before I do something, right? Again, wanting to control her, not letting her sing, right? Trying to impregnate her so he can make her a housewife, right? Like, this is why he's like, like, when did I become such a cruel person? Because I want these things. I want her all to myself, but I'm not even willing to give up my career or jeopardize my career for her. But I do at the same time, in the same breath, want her all to myself. And I want her to jeopardize everything, stop singing, stop her life goals and ambitions for me, because I just want her for myself. Right? Compared to Yasu, who is literally giving up so much and being so selfless. He knows he doesn't, it's as if he knows he doesn't deserve Nana-O. He knows that Yasu is a better candidate, a better love romantic candidate for Nana-O, but he doesn't want to let her go. And I mean, there's valid. If you love somebody, you don't want to let him go, but he knows he's not going to be doing right by her. He knows that. So I just found this part such a pivotal moment, because it's just like, damn. And instead of letting, you know how people like, oh, you really love somebody, you gonna let them go? And I guess everybody does love differently. But instead of letting her go, this man dug in deeper. He was like, you know what? No, I'm going to propose to her. I'm going to make her mine on paper. That's what I'm going to do. I always love the scenes that Nana-O takes accountability. Even if it's after the fact, okay? After once shit hit the fan, she still does it. So this is when the tabloids know that Rin and Nana-O are together. They're spreading all these rumors and lies, and Nana wants to go see Nana-O and make sure she's okay. And Takumi got on her and was like, shut up, stay out of it. This is business, right? And so they got into it, and she left, and she's, all emotional. And so this is when June and them have found out her Takumi was Takumi Ichinose from Trap Nest. And for anybody who's, unsure if Nanake actually loved Takumi, she does. Because this is where she lets Junko know, I'm not just marrying him for the baby. Like, I'm marrying him because I actually do love him. She's like, I really do love Takumi. That's why. And it's like, for those of us who knew, we knew, right? We knew. Like, that's another reason why Nobu, and I'm gonna make a whole another video for Nobu, because we're gonna have to talk about how the fact that she just did not contact Nobu after that night. And I was like, hold on, wasn't he your boyfriend though? Didn't you say that he was your boyfriend and talk to me? You not gonna say a word to him after? No closure, no nothing. You just said, I'm so sorry, and that's it. But anyway, we're gonna get another video for that. But that's why he was mad, because he was just like, let your feelings settle. But she still loved this man. So that ties into it, on top of the baby situation, on top of everything. But, Junko's like, at least I know, I'm glad you know who you love this time. But Nana's like, I should love Nobu, though. Like, she understands it. She knows a better romantic, healthy love would be with Nobu. But it's like, I don't know why. She's like, I don't know why I don't cherish these type of men. And Junko is, again, a lot of people love to hate on Junko, but she just be telling it like it is. And Nana K be knowing what it is. It's just whenever Junko be delivering the information, she be emotional at the time. So it's like, oh, that's just not the right time to say that. But it's like Nana K be knowing too. So she's like, yeah, that's what you think. Like, you think you're supposed to be with Nobu because, again, any man that treats you like, a little princess, you consider a good man. This is why we say, again, whoever's nicest to Nana K at the time is who she is going to center and feel like she's in love with. But deep down, she was in love with Takumi. And this is when Junko's like, okay, but I know you feel like you betrayed Nobu, but it was because of that though, right? And this is when Nana K's like, that would feel better to say that I got with him for the money and for the baby. But it's dead ass because I actually love this man. like, she's like, why do I have to always fall in love with men like this? Like, bro, because again, Takumi and Takashi also parallel as well. And Junko like, dang, she must have really loved that man, Takashi, because she's still bringing him up now, and she's paralleling him with Takumi. Damn. Like, Junko didn't understand the extent, because, again, to her on the outside, she was like, this is somebody who groomed this girl. Like, he just used you up. You didn't get no money on him or no nothing. This is back in high school. But she's like, every time Nana K brings Takashi up, she's like, dang, she really was in love with this man. But again, here is where Nana K's like, Shoji and Nobu both really cared about me. Why can't I learn to treasure them? But again, when Junko was trying to tell her that, yes, Shoji cheated. He shouldn't have done that. But Junko was trying to say, hey, for the deterioration of the relationship, you played a part too. It was not your fault that he cheated on you. He shouldn't have done that. But for the deterioration, okay, of the relationship, okay, and then the cheating came after, the deterioration itself, both of y'all are to blame. It's not just on Shoji. But see, Nana K knew that. This is why I be like, everybody loves to put the blame on Junko, but I'm just like, hey, she needs to take accountability as well, and she does. Even like I said, it's after the fact. But it's just like, she does, and she knows. That's why she still appreciates Junko as like a mother figure. What did she say? She's like, Junko takes care of me like a mother more than like my mother. It's like Nana K's frustrated with herself because she's like, why can't I just choose the good guy? Why can't I just choose and treasure the good guy? Like, I'm never going to find happiness if I keep this up, bro. But I just love how in this scene, it's not the demon lord. It's not Takami's fault. It's not Shoji's fault. It's not Nobu's fault. In this panel, she's understanding her part that she plays in this, right? She do not know how to pick them. Okay? She doesn't know how to pick them. She doesn't treasure when people are actually showing her genuine love and affection. And then she chooses the wrong person every time. The person that she's not going to be the happiest with. But I like how she's not blaming anybody other than herself in that moment. Because she needed more of that up until this point. But as we know, and as she always says, she puts on this facade, and she, emotionally manipulates people, whatever the case is. But I like how they're showing her, being frustrated with herself of like, why do I keep doing this, bro? I say that I want to be happy, but I go for these superficial things, and now I'm unhappy. I'm like, I could have had it all. And this is why I would love a deeper backstory for Nana K, even looking into like childhood and things like that, because we got to know her as somebody who was always changing herself to get picked by a man. But then we also see her get groomed by this older man who was married to Kashi, and he's similar to Takumi, where it's like he doesn't really communicate with her. She doesn't know too much about him. She does know some about Takumi more than, she did about Takashi, but it's just more of like, again, always wearing like a suit, pulling up whenever she gets off of work, just pulling up, taking her to a hotel. It's just mainly about smecks, right? And that's how Takumi was. Now their relationship starts to evolve more, but she was used to that type of behavior to where when she got somebody who actually cared, it's as if she started to, focus on something else, or she was still in love with the ones that are selfish and just take advantage. I want to know more of where that comes from. I mean, there's so many layers to just that and why she might, do that. But yeah, it's just like, I love this. This humanizes her more of like, she knows she's wrong. And she's even frustrated with, why do I do this? It's a pattern of behavior that I can't necessarily break. Because let's be real, even when we know that we're doing something that's detrimental to ourselves sometimes, and you acknowledge it, sometimes it's not enough to just acknowledge it. You have to put in the work and the actions to stop that pattern, right? And that's what we're seeing with Nana K. She's not stopping the pattern, but she does acknowledge it. But that's not enough though, because she knows this. And she's had Junko along the way. That is that voice that is like telling her what she already knows. And people get mad at Junko, but it's just like, but again, she knows. You guys just don't like the delivery, right? But she knows this. So it's at what point is she going to break the pattern? And that's what I don't know if we're going to see that. I know at the end of the manga, we see her and Nobu cozying up, next to each other. So I don't know. But at the same time, at the end of the manga too, Junko was like, hey, so are you going to divorce him? And she was like, it doesn't really seem like there's a reason to anymore. So I don't know. But it's just kind of like, okay, well, why not? I mean, I know why not. But it's just like, don't you want to maybe just have a fresh slate? And it seems like you still love Nobu, or you still have feelings for Nobu. He still has feelings for you. So why not? And it might be still because she might still be in love with Takumi. Even though the whole Takumi, Nobu, and Nana K debacle was crazy, I will never get over the fact that she just kind of threw Nobu away. Like, let's be real. That whole thing was messy as hell. Yes. And the fact that Takumi being like, it's up to Nana to choose because she doesn't need two fathers for her child. And then Nobu goes in the room to go talk to Nana, and she says nothing to him except for sorry. He's like, please tell me, let me know. I want to hear it from your mouth. F what he's saying. He's giving her a chance to explain herself, to clarify the whole situation. Because let's be real, it wasn't as if she was necessarily two-timing, right? But she didn't necessarily fully and clearly close that door with Takumi. And let's not get into the whole, well, she said never to call her again. Like I said, I made another video. When she didn't want him to come through, when Masato was over, she made sure to text it out clearly, do not come to my home. And she didn't do that because she didn't really want to end things with Takumi, but she did want to pursue Nobu. He was being the nicest to her at the time. But again, Nobu was trying to be understanding. He was like, look, I know you guys just broke up. I just need you to explain to me what the hell was going on. And for her to just be like, I'm sorry, whatever the case is, right? A lot of people have different views on this. They're like, well, she's really emotional right now. And they try to also blame Nana O for not being there. Because let's be real, later on in the manga, she says the main reason why she goes with Takumi is because Nana O didn't show up that night. And it made her feel even lonelier. She was saying the reason why she chose Takumi wasn't necessarily because of the baby or for Nobu, right? It was because Takumi was the only one really there to take care of her in that moment. That's all it was. And she was like, I'm always like that. I'm selfish, thinking only about myself, and I'm scared of being alone. But also, let's not forget when she told Junko, she didn't get with Takumi because of the baby. It's because she really does truly love Takumi. So let's be real about that. She did have feelings for Takumi as well. So I feel like that sorry wasn't just because she knew this whole situation was messy and it could have been cleared up with her communicating, and also her not rebounding so quick, because Nobu definitely told her, if you end things with him, let your feelings settle and then come to me, because I will wait for you. But also she probably saying sorry too. Think about it. This is another layer. The fact that Nana O wasn't there and the fact that Nobu himself, his presence, her boyfriend at the time, wasn't enough. Isn't that crazy? His presence in that moment was not enough because Nana O wasn't there, right? He should be enough. If you claim that you loved Nobu the way you claimed you did, later on we see that she didn't love Nobu as much as she thought she did. She's like, I'm supposed to be in love with Nobu. But like Junko said, she's like, you think anybody who treats you like a princess in that moment is the man for you, right? Or is like you're in love with him. Again, whoever treats her nicest at the time. But she understands, if I would have chosen Nobu, I would be so much happier. Why do I keep choosing men like Takumi and Takashi? But like I said, this sorry is so weighted, because it's not just like a sorry about not fully closing the door and fully making sure that everything was ended off with him, right? In the way that I knew I should have, right? And sorry for jumping into something with you when I wasn't over my feelings for him, like you asked me to. Like you deliberately asked me to wait until my feelings settled, and I did not do that. Because again, Nana hates feeling lonely, so she can't really bear being lonely for too long. So not only that, but I'm also sorry that your presence right now is not enough, because who I really want to see right now is Nana O. Damn. Like, that's tough. That's tough. And it's the fact that after this, she does not talk to him. He's over here heartbroken. He was willing to take scraps. He was like, look, you can lie to me. Just say something. And she still gives him nothing. But remember, he doesn't even find out that she's getting married to Takumi and moving in with him, because she doesn't talk to him after that anymore. Isn't that crazy? Like, to be someone's boyfriend and then this whole debacle happens, you should still be included in the decisions like that are being made, because you are technically her boyfriend, right? Right? But the fact that this other dude comes in, takes claim like, oh, I'm going to be a father of her baby, this, that, and the third. She just says sorry. She doesn't, let's say for people who are like, but that night it was very emotional. Blah, blah, blah. Okay. Why didn't she hit him up after that? She just moves on. And if anything, her focus was mainly on Nana O not coming home, and on Nana O with the broken glasses and everything like that. Nobu isn't thought about as much. And he has to find out this way? Isn't that crazy? Like, he was like, yeah, I kind of got it. I kind of got the sense that we were done that night. Like, the fact that she just wasn't talking to me, but damn, like, aren't I supposed to be a part of this too? Why am I the last to know about this shit? Like, this is crazy. Like, that was supposed to be my girl. Like, you're my girl. Like, am I really that trustworthy? And again, he's putting it on himself, and he's just like, no. Later on, he understands, like, no, she did me dirty. But it's just like, in that moment, he's just like, damn, what is wrong with me? Why couldn't I, like, what? I'm sorry. I can't, Nana K, there's a lot of things she should have moved differently with, but that one, I'm like, you could at least give this man some closure of like, hey, I really enjoyed our time together, but this is what I'm going to do. She didn't do nothing, no text, no call. Like, hello? He just got thrown to the wind. Thrown. Like he was some trash or some shit. Like he just, like, as if his feelings just didn't matter at all. Insane. Yes, Junko did advise Nana K not to tell Nobu the truth because, she doesn't have any proof. He might not believe you. He may not, forgive you. And I don't agree with her on this one. I was more with Kyosuke on this one about like, hey, maybe she should just explain what happened. Because for me, if he believes you, that's up to him. Because if we know Nobu, because that's the thing, they don't know Nobu. Nobu was begging for scraps. He was like, just tell me anything, even if it's a lie. Because Junko's thinking logically in the sense of, who's to say that he is going to believe you? Who's to say, because you don't have no proof. And on the outside, it looks like a hot ass mess. I mean, it is a hot ass mess, but still. it does look like you were sleeping with the both of them at the same time, when that necessarily isn't what happened. And this is why Kyosuke was like, well, maybe you should just break it down and explain, right? But again, they don't know who Nobu is. He would have taken anything. The fact that Nanake didn't say anything but I'm sorry made it all the worse. And so Kyosuke is like, hey, in my opinion, I think Nana just should show Nobu, again, the truth. And just explain whatever that truth is. And Junko's like, yeah, but love is enough to raise a baby. And it's like they're both right? But they're coming at it from different angles. Because Junko's like, yeah, but he would stop dreaming and have to quit his dream for this baby. That might not even be his. And he would have to go back to his parents and literally just stop everything for Nana. And Kyosuke was like, I mean, there might be a chance he can just, kind of slow things down and say, hey, I'm going to help you with whatever I can. I could do what I could do. And Junko's like, I mean, if that's the case, then shouldn't she just not say anything? Because on one hand, you do have Takumi that can just do it easily, right? But then on the other hand, you have Nobu who would have to stop everything to do even just something. And she was like, maybe it would be different if she knew that it was Nobu's child for sure. But the fact that she doesn't, and the fact that he always wore condoms and that Takumi never did, it's kind of like we know it's Takumi's. And she was like, it kind of sucks that his life will kind of be like ruined by this decision. And she was like, that's why Nanake doesn't want him to want to have to rely on him. And she was right. Like, that's how Nanake was thinking. But I was more on Kyosuke's side of like, that's fine and dandy. You could let Takumi raise a child because it was his child. Yeah, Nobu wore condoms, whatever. But still tell this man the truth. Like, it was as if they both had the right idea, but they needed to use both perspectives, not just one or the other. And although Kyosuke thought that Nanake was just being so noble in this moment by not telling Nobu because, oh, she must care about Nobu so much, I'm glad Junko clocked that tea of, it's really because of Nana O. She was like, I have to say, before being Nobu's girlfriend, Nana K is a blast fan. She was like, the great priestess, which is Nana O, is part of her own dream. Because let's be real, if Nana K passed this baby off as Nobu's baby, even though she know dang well that wasn't his baby, and he had to stop everything and go back to his parents and stop being, a songwriter and a guitarist, that would mess up things with Blast. And that would affect Nana O's dreams. And we know how much she loved her some Nana O. And so although in this moment, I agree more with Kyosuke's way of just saying, hey, we should at least, like, even if you're going to go talk to me, just tell Nobu. But I feel like Kyosuke was more of like, just tell Nobu, you never know. Maybe you can make things work. And I don't think she should have put Nobu through that because she know damn well it wasn't his kid. But I do feel like even if you're gonna go with Takumi, you should still tell him. So I feel like I agree with both Junko and Kyosuke in this moment. But it's just, it shouldn't be one or the other of like, oh, tell him, wait, make it work. Or don't tell him and just go with Takumi and don't say anything at all. Give Nobu some closure, okay? But then she was going to go with Takumi because she did have feelings. And he was the nicest to her at the time. And Nana O didn't show up that night. So she felt even more lonely. But give him some damn closure. Because she didn't even write him a little love letter. If y'all remember, Nana K wrote Nana O a little goodbye love letter. And before she left the apartment, she didn't give Nobu nothing. She could have at least ended it off with, hey, like, this ain't going to work. Whatever the case is, she could have tried to explain or anything, or even just explain her feelings. Even if she's trying to not say, explain what happened between her and Takumi, like how Junko said, like, I mean, there's no way he probably gonna believe you because there's no proof. And knowing Nobu, he would take scraps anyway. But at least do a little love letter, like if you loved him as much as you said you did, you feel me? But it really just showed in that moment who she really had feelings for when it came to that. It was Takumi and Nana O. It was always between those two. And so although she went with Takumi, it was as if her heart, it was kind of like split where like she really did love Takumi, but she really did love Nana O as well. And them both grappling with those feelings of like, okay, what am I feeling? Because this ain't just no best friend love. It's something else, but this is my first time feeling it. But yeah, I feel really bad for Nobu in that moment because it was like, not only did all this happen, but he didn't get any type of closure. She never spoke to him. And it's like, we can't blame that on Junko necessarily because, again, Nanake is her own person. Okay, because she don't be always listening to what Junko says until later on she'll, say what Junko has said earlier in the manga, and now she says it herself, and that's fine. But it's just like at the end of the day, even though, yes, Junko was advising her to do this, Kyosuke was advising her to do that, she did what she wanted to do for her. It was her own choice. All these choices was Nana K's own choice. So we have to let her take accountability for that as well. But yes, I would have been like, hey, you need to communicate that. If he believe it, he believe it. If he don't, he don't. And if you're going to go talk to me, hey, it is what it is. You're going to do that anyway, right? But at least let him know Something. You shouldn't have just said, "Oh, I'm sorry," and then just never talked to that man again. And no love letter, no nothing, child. But like I said, it goes into even like with Kyosuke being like, "Oh," but again, he's thinking that it's all for Nobu of her doing this. He's like, "Yeah, you were so selfish in the past. This is admirable." Oh no, I'm starting to get moved. And it's just like, she's like, "Nah, it's not that she's not selfish anymore and this is so admirable. It's the fact that she's also including Nana O into this. Let's not get it twisted." But it's just like, it's funny how they can all see how she can move very selfishly. On top of that, Nana K can see it herself. But yeah, all these decisions, at the end of the day, Nana K is an adult. She has her own decision-making process. And so, yes, I do not agree with Junko saying don't talk to Nobu at all. Because I'm like, well, that wasn't a great breakup. Like, we needed to have some type of closure because this person's a human being. Like, come on now. And also, they do not know Nobu. So that also makes sense. This man was begging for crumbs, something, please, right? So it's like, at that point, even if somebody who wasn't so madly in love head over heels would have not believed Nana K when she said, "Hey, I wasn't sleeping with them at the same time," Nobu probably would have believed her, you know? Anything that comes out of Nana K's mouth, he was probably going to believe. So it's like, I mean, it could have at least gave him that, child. When it came to Nana K getting with Takumi, Ren was always trying to reassure Nana O that you still have her heart. And it was because Nana O and Ren navigated these personal relationships differently. For example, when Nana K left that love letter for Nana O, all she saw was a breakup letter. That's all she saw. And the fact that she's gone. Compared to Ren, he was like, this is like a fierce love letter, not a breakup letter. Like, what's the problem? And if y'all don't remember, let's go through it. Nana K was like, "I'm sorry, I've been such a spoiled little girl. I don't think Nana will ever forgive me. The 6 months that I've spent with Nana, I will remember for the rest of my life. Not seeing Nana ever again, I will be really lonely. But I didn't know what to do. That's why you must debut. Be on television shows more. Allow me to see you in more of your singing glamour and flair. No matter who I fall in love with in the future, Nana will be the only hero in my life. I don't think I'll ever be able to find someone as cool as you. It was like that before, and it will stay like that always." And then she talks about, like, you know, she'll pay her side of the rent until she moves out. Side note, for anybody who really thinks that they platonic, y'all are just reading this blind, just eyes shut. But anyway, but after reading that, Nana, all she sees is like a breakup letter, and like, this is the end. And Ren sees it as, this is like a love letter. You see that she still has your heart, or that you still have her heart, and forever at that. And you're always still number one in her eyes. But I love the difference in the perspective because it enriches their character even more, because Nana, of course, Nana K physically being gone is going to hurt. Yes, it makes sense, right? It's going to feel lonely. And the fact that she's having a baby, the move, everything, getting married, whatever, that is going to hurt. But, right, what Ren sees is that, hey, you still have her heart, right? And it's not like you can't visit her and do this and do that, whatever. And why does Ren think that way? Because he understands what it's like for somebody that he loves to love somebody else, but he can still have them. And although she loves someone else, Nana O, he is still number one in her eyes, whether it's healthy or not. And that's the way he navigates his relationship with Nana O specifically. Because he knows Nana O loves Yasu as well as Yasu loving her. And although Nana O has came to that realization that her relationship with Yasu is stronger than hers with Ren's, her feelings for Ren hasn't changed. And this is the same on his side as well. Whereas like his feelings for Nana O hasn't changed, but he can't sacrifice how he used to be willing to sacrifice for her back in the day before he left Blast. So although they have different number ones in their life, if that makes sense, when it comes to love, they are still binded to each other, even though it's unhealthy. But with Ren, he understands that, you know, although Nana K went with Takumi, you still have her heart. And that's what matters. You can still go visit her. You can still go see her, because he's used to being in a predicament like this. Because although Nana O may love Yasu as well, he has Nana O's heart. And he's able to still have her in that way. And of course, this, you know, makes sense why he proposed and all that kind of stuff, so he can have her and keep Yasu away. Compared to Nana O, she doesn't want you having any other connections. If you're somebody that Nana O loves, it's more of that possessiveness, like territorial of like, no, I want you in my backyard. So even same thing with Ren. I don't want you writing any other songs. It's not enough that I'm in your heart. It's not enough that you still love me. I want to be your number one when it comes to everything. So no, I didn't want you to go to Trap Nest. No, I don't want you writing stuff for Rayra and playing for them. No, I don't want you hugging up on nobody. I don't want any of that. I don't care if I'm still like your number one in your heart, this, that, and the third. When it comes to relationship wise, I want to be your number one, period. Compared to Ren, where he's like, well, hey, I still love you, but I just can't sacrifice for you in the way that I used to. I have other things that I'm centering as well, right? On top of the fact that, let's be real, he wants to do that, but then keep her down, right? And have Nana O all to himself. So he toxic in his own way. But again, when you analyze this, it makes sense why whenever she's crashing out about like Nana K and Takumi and this, that, and the third, even though she knows that Nana K love her, okay? You're her number one. She love you, girl. It makes sense why they have completely different perspectives of this. Because he's like, you got her heart. Yeah, she with this dude, but you got her heart. You can still visit her. Y'all can still hang out, go on dates, do this, do all the stuff that y'all used to do. But yeah, she's going to be married to Takumi. But it's like, you still get to enjoy her in that right? Compared to Nana O, it's like, no, she's gone. Like, she is gone. It doesn't matter how I feel and how she feel. She is gone, right? Her getting married to Takumi is not a blow just to Nana O as a friend. And this is why sometimes, like, my little sister was watching Nana for the first time, and she was just like, why didn't she show up that night when, you know, they found out she was pregnant the 7th? Like, as a friend, she should have been there. And I was like, yes, but Nana O isn't looking at Nana K just as a friend. That's the problem. She in love with that girl. Like, she over here looking at her and she's talking about some gulp. Like the tiniest of your moves provoke disorder in my heart with a strength comparable to that of a typhoon. Are you serious right now? This ain't no damn best friends. This ain't no damn platonic. I feel like a young man discovering love. I have a hard time keeping this proud expression that I have. Come on now. Come on now. This is why I don't entertain the arguments of, they were platonic. What are you talking about? Please. So again, it makes sense why the night that she, found out Nana K was pregnant, this is not just a best friend finding out that her best friend was pregnant. Okay. This is like, of somebody who's in love with that person finding out that they are pregnant with they op. That's what that was. And that's why Nana O couldn't support her the way that she may have wanted to when it came to like, oh, I should be a good friend, but she couldn't because she was heartbroken as hell. I'm not saying that was the right thing to do. I'm just saying that's why. It makes perfect sense when you really read what's going on. And so again, it makes perfect sense why she's heartbroken when she gets that love letter from Nana K, because she's like, it's over. It's official. She's leaving. This marriage is now pushing me out, right? It's funny because that's exactly what Rin meant to do when marrying or when proposing to Nana O. He wanted to push Yasu out. Even though, again, you doing that ain't pushing Yasu anywhere. It's just legally binding y'all together to where he can't just, up and run off with your girl. Even if you can, it'll just be, adultery. But the point of the matter is, it's funny. It's as if that was done the same way. But Rin is still trying to let her know, like, yeah, she getting married, she moved out, but she still love you. So, because he knows, even with him trying to propose to Nana O, you still gonna love Yasu. I can't stop you from loving Yasu, and I can't stop him from loving you. But I could just get my ass in between there. So they have completely different ways of going about their relationships, even though it is similar. But this is why they have different perspectives on this as well. Some people feel like, Rin don't really care that she likes Nana K because, he's just, a hornball. And that may be true too. Like, yeah, it'll be hot for my girlfriend to have a girlfriend. But it's also because he understands that her relationship and her feelings for Nana K is not going to take Nana O away from him. And he's also letting it be known, like, I'm okay with that. Because what happens if he wouldn't be okay with that? He know he can't stop those feelings. What? She might be like, okay, well, shit, if you ain't okay with it, I have to bounce my ass up out of here. You feel me? Something that she may have not been able to do with Yasu because, again, Yasu and Rin are like bros. But Nana K, she knew. Ain't nobody, you feel me? Like, that's new territory. Compared to, now it's like I'm low-key homie hopping. It's a little weird. Yasu not going to do that because of Rin. And compared to Nana K and Takumi, that's how she feel. She like, if I could run away with this girl, if we were on the same page, I would. I would not give a damn if Takumi was there or not. You get me? So, yeah, I just thought this was interesting. Nana K is not a threat to Rin. So, therefore, he's like, I'm all for it. Go ahead. But let it be Yasu? Oh, absolutely not. Also, I thought it was sad as hell that Nana O got a love letter from Nana K, and Nobu got nothing. It's actually really sad. He got shit. He got absolutely nothing. I feel like, again, this really shows where her loyalties lie, where her feelings really were. No matter what she would say, you gotta look at her actions. Like, oh yeah, I'm at one point she was like, I'm so madly in love with Nobu. But again, doesn't give him anything, just leaves off, no closure, no nothing, right? But and I feel like in the time skip, I feel like at that point her feelings probably have grown because as you can see, he's still supportive, he's still there. At that point, I can definitely see her being like, no, I actually really do love Nobu now. After the fact, right? But during this time, I feel like, because he was, again, the nicest to her at the time, it was just very convenient. Takumi wasn't giving her the time of day or, like, not time of day, the attention needed. And he was just giving her everything that she wanted to hear in the moment. And so, but when shit really hit the fan, who did she decide to give closure to? Who did she decide to pour out her feelings to? Nana O, the person that she loved the most. But who also did she give her presence to and choose to live her life with? Takumi, somebody else who she really, like, she actually loves. So I feel like it was always this back and forth between Takumi and Nana O, and Noble he was collateral damage, child. Same thing with Nana O. She don't really understand her feelings all the way. But she does know. Eventually she's like, oh, I'm falling in love with this girl. And Nana K even knows that Nana O is in love with her. Because let's be real, Nana K's in love with her too. And for all the people real quick who's going to be like, they're just platonic though. I've loved my friends just like that. Remember, not too much self-insertion. We're not talking about you. We don't know about you. We only know about them. So we're going to talk about them. But no, for real. This is not saying that you can't have platonic best friends that say that they love each other necessarily and that you can't love your platonic friends fiercely. But at some point, we have to be so for real. Like, another layer to analyzing is also understanding, like, the time period that things are made in and the social implications of that. So, for example, with Nana being like, I forget if it's early 2000s or 90s, or even things like Naruto with Sasuke and Naruto, or Berserk with Griffith and Guts, or whatever the case is, where one character likes the other, or they both love each other, or whatever. It was not okay or acceptable, socially acceptable, to have openly queer characters. And if these shows did have openly queer characters the way that they intended to and they written them out to be, they would not be as big as they are now. You think Berserk would be as big as it is with the male fandom, right? If it was just out, like, just really plain and simple, like, it's there. It's kind of clear as day. But a lot of men aren't going to see it, right? But it's kind of written subliminally or in code, or it's as if people don't understand that two characters can love each other and be in love with each other and they don't have to kiss. They don't have to sleep with each other, right? You don't have to do those things. And a lot of times, even back in the day when people had to be in the closet, and just like how there's a lot of people still in the closet now, they can still love someone either from afar or up close, and they just have to hold back. They just can never pursue that person. So therefore, yeah, I'm going to be a best friend, or yeah, I'm going to be, someone really close to you. Yeah, like, I love this person, but I know it's never going to go as far as I would want it to, or that it could possibly go if we both admitted our feelings, or if I admitted my feelings, or if they admitted their feelings, whatever the case is. So instead of having these characters sleep together in that way, because these characters have definitely slept in the same bed, right? She threw in a kiss in there too for you. If you can't get it by that. Even if it was Nana O kissing her. You see what I'm trying to say? But you have Nana O saying that your tiniest move provokes disorder in my heart with the strength comparable to a typhoon. Are you kidding me? Got her gulping, looking like, come on. I feel like I'm a young man discovering love. I mean, again, don't know how clear you could put it, but it's okay to slip these things in there because you don't have them actually in a full-on blown relationship. So the ones that's not going to get it, not going to get it. So yeah, like, shows like this walk so that shows like Arcane can run. Like, we get to have like a Vi and Caitlyn in Arcane, and it not only be about Vi and Caitlyn. And the show can have so much depth and so many layers to it and so many different plot lines, and it not all be about like this queer couple, because of them, people like this and authors like this just sliding, getting a little bit more, getting you used to this thought of a little bit more. right? Without actually doing something. But for those who know, no. Because they also know that most of society is still going to be, oblivious to the fact that, hey, no, this is what this is. And so it's a safe way to get your content out there, get the messages out there, get the stories out there, because this is somebody's story, right? And I'm not just talking about the authors, but these are a lot of people's stories out there where they are in love with their best friend. Hell, some people in the comments be like, I felt the same way, and I'd be like, the same way? Because there is a such thing as compulsive heterosexuality. We live in a heteronormative society. So, there's a lot of times where you're doing something because that's what you're taught, that's what you're conditioned, but you feel a different way. But that's a whole nother story for a whole nother day, child. We need to get back to this. The point of the matter is, I just want to break that down so that when I say, and just for the rest of the series, in general, my videos, when I say the Nanas love each other, that you're not so close-minded to the fact that, but they don't kiss, but they don't do that. We have to read in between the lines. I mean, we don't even got to read in between the lines with this one. Or this one either. Where, again, he's like, when she tells Rin this, Rin's like, so you want to do it with her? Like, his mind immediately goes to sex. She's like, I agree that it's a battle, but it has nothing to do with sexual appetite. It's not like I just am sexually attracted to her, right? And she's trying to battle these feelings. She's trying to suppress these feelings because all throughout the manga, she's wondering, why can I not be there for Nana K like a friend? Like, why can't I support her in that way? Especially when it comes to like, talk me, this, that, and the third. And it's because of these feelings. Because if they were strictly platonic, this conversation wouldn't even have happened. Like, this wouldn't even be in the manga. Because what other feelings other than friend feelings, right? And this is why Rin is giving her the green light of, hey, Nana K seems to be really fond of you. I think she'll be very pleased to know that you love her this much. And in this way, right? All you need to do is take care of her to the measure of your affection. I don't see what the problem is, right? It don't gotta be this complicated, but it's understandable, right? Because she's a young adult and she's having these feelings for the first time, and they're unrecognizable. And so he's letting her know, like, they're there, like, oh, that's so cute. Like, look at my girlfriend trying to have a girlfriend. Okay, like, this is cute. Like, she ain't a threat to me. She ain't Yasu, so go ahead. And Takumi knew too. Like, when she broke the cups, he was like, dang, Nana must really like you. And Nana K was like, I bet she's gonna hate me. He's like, or more like, she's in love with you. And here go Nana K talking about, I don't think it's like that. She did the same thing with Nobu, saying, Nobu doesn't still have feelings for me. Like, she be saying this stuff knowing damn well. But she's like, I think she's just being nice to me because I was her roommate. Knowing damn well that ain't the truth. And he was like, no, she's obviously in love with you. I'll be breaking glasses too. And look at Nana's face, right? It's a little shocking, but she understands. Like, this isn't too shocking. Like, no, wait, no, she knows too, because she feel the same way, honey. Like, all those damn love letters. This ain't even a video about them. We do another video about them later. I tend to think about this scene where Nana O is telling Rin, why should I have to die? You should die. Because I know when I first read it, it felt random. But as I really analyzed, it made so much sense. Because, again, what they're mirroring to Sid and Nancy, on top of the fact that they had their death pact and everything like that, it felt as if they were no longer dying together now. In the beginning, she was always asking Rin, if I die, would you die with me? He would always say yes. And now there has been an obvious shift with the both of them, right? To where now she feels as if you are no longer willing to die with me. You are no longer willing to sacrifice everything for me. And Rin he's admitted this, right? Like when Yasu sacrificed his career by punching out that paparazzi, Yasu also sacrificing his career by moving to Tokyo to be with Nana O and support her in the band. Compared to Rin, although he loves Nana O, he's no longer willing to sacrifice those things for him, let alone his life, right? And although he's no longer willing to sacrifice these things, he wants to have her all to himself. You get me? So, because some people are like, I don't think he meant he wanted to off her literally. But whether it's literally or figuratively, he's not willing to sacrifice those things for her, but he does want her to sacrifice those things for him. But he knows it's wrong, right? He knows it's wrong. That's why he was like, someone killed me because like, this is dangerous thinking. I shouldn't be thinking about this about somebody I love so much, but it's the truth. These are my selfish thoughts and intrusive thoughts. And so if you are thinking of, like, if he wants to kill Nana figuratively, of like just trapping her, getting her pregnant, making her a stay-at-home mom, keeping her from singing, he doesn't want her to sing, right? Or even offing her to where he can only have her in that way. Regardless, I feel like Nana was sensing that, if she hadn't already, because now it feels like they're no longer willing to do this together, right? And to trap each other and together and be binded together. Now it feels like, okay, at the end of the day, I love you, Nana O, but I'm with Trap Nest. And that is what Ren's doing. He wants to protect Trap Nest. He has created these other bonds, right? Compared to in the past, they were consumed by each other. And I feel like now she can sense it, to where she's like, why do I have to die? You should die, right? Why do I have to suffer? You should suffer. Why is it to make you happy? I would have to stop everything. And this is not to say that Ren isn't suffering either, right? But I'm just saying, from Nana O's point of view, it would even prompt her to say this. Because what they both want contradicts each other. And to make the other person happy, they would kind of have to put everything on hold and kind of be miserable. But it feels like Nana O was able to kind of feel this of like, what's up? Like, why do I have to stop everything to make you happy and to be able to fit into your world the way you would want me to, right? Even though Ren has never told those things that he told to Rayra to Nana O, I feel like she was able to really sense it. Especially when it comes to killing off her chances of being with anybody else, right? When it comes to, like, think about Yasu, right? And she hates the fact that he has even allowed Rayra into his heart, let alone writing songs for her. So yeah, seeing that picture of them together set her over the edge, because it's like, you're trying to cut me off from everything else, but you're allowed to make connections. Even though Ren and Rayra aren't together in that way, and they aren't close in that sexual or romantic way, they're like besties, still, right? It's like, still, I don't want that. That's not what we was on. You don't understand how that makes me feel, right? And although they have to do what's best for themselves, because again, they're early young adults, right? We can't fully live for somebody else. And that's what they were like doing, right? Living for each other, binded by this toxic, unhealthy love, willing to die for one another, or die with each other. And as you get older, you create, like, you grow apart, you do different things, you have different goals and ambitions, and now you have to do what's best for you. So that, hey, you got to do what's best for you. I don't blame Ren for going after the best career path, but this is from Nana O's perspective of like, hey, this is driving me crazy. No, this is not cool. And then you're allowed to make these new connections, right? But then you know what you're doing when you propose to me so that you can keep me away from Yasu. Let's be real. Like, that's the reason why he proposed to her, to get Yasu out of her heart, even though, again, we know that that's not going to remove him. But it's like, I feel like Nana O was finally feeling like, why do I have to suffer? What the hell is going on? Right? Because you're not willing to like be with me in the way that I need it to be. And same thing on her end. She's not willing to be able to support him the way that he would want either. So, but why are you trapping me again? But knowing that it hurts, because you know that I do love you though. So what are we doing? Like, you feel me? And we know what Nana O, similar to Ren, but we know what Nana O specifically, when she feels like she's like these bonds that she holds close, or these possessions, these people that she has, holds dear and true to her, when she feels like they are out of her grasp and she no longer has control, possession, or she no longer has them in her backyard, it can feel like the world is crumbling, right? This is where the panic attacks come from. This is where the blackouts come from. She is quite literally unraveling to where she feels like she's dying, right? And this is when Ren's like, I won't let you die, right? You won't die. But it really does seem like in that moment when she's like, why should I have to die? It's like, why? Why do I have to let go of all these things, right? Why do I have to be the one to have to suffer in that way, when on the outside to her, it doesn't seem like he's suffering in the same way that she's suffering? Lo and behold, they were both suffering, right? He just handled it a different way, right? She has the panic attacks and the blackouts. He has the drugs. Again, extremely toxic and unhealthy, and they all need therapy and help. But yeah, it just gives this scene so much more meaning when I look at it from that perspective, because at first, when I first read it, I didn't understand why she had said that. And then I understand like the parallels between Sid and Nancy, the death pact. I understand, like, once you understand, you're like, damn, it's as if she knows what he's doing without him even saying it. But at the same time, they're both suffering. But even so, it's as if she knows how selfishly Ren thinks at the same time without him having to even share that side of like his mind with her. Because from our knowing, he's only shared that with Rayra. But it's as if she knows. It's like, what you're doing is selfish, bro. It is. It really is. But they are both selfish, though. That's the crazy thing. So they really do fit. They're like two sides of the same coin. Nana K dismissing people's feelings for her or just pretending that she don't know about them altogether is a part of that mask and facade that she wears. A prime example of this is at the end of the manga where her and Nobu embraced. And then Nana O stepped in and was like, you need to make a clean break before you try to do anything with Nana K, right? And Nana K was trying to say, no, it isn't like this. Basically saying, like, he don't like me like that. It's okay. And as you see, he gets irritated. Because he's like, what do you mean it's not like this? Of course I still like you. And mind you, literally 5 seconds before Nana O walked in, they was just embracing. And the only reason why she stopped was because she started thinking about Asami, his girlfriend at the time, and it reminded her of when she had got cheated on. And so she started to feel bad, and she pushed him away. So they didn't go any further. But again, she's like, no, please don't say anymore. Like, again, she knows, but she just doesn't want to say it. She doesn't want it out in the open because then she would have to face it and deal with the reality of it and then start moving accordingly. She did the same thing in this scene, but I'm glad Takumi clocked it because this is when they saw Asami on the TV for the first time, and she was like, you know her? And, Takumi ended up being like, yeah, but didn't you see her? She was at Rayra's party. And she was like, did I? And he like, girl, be fucking real. I know you saw her. You was probably just, feeling shocked that she was with Nobu. And she's like, why is Takumi suddenly so fine with talking about Nobu? And then he just starts talking about like, but we still don't know who the child is for real. And she's just like, stop joking about that stuff. Like, I don't want you talking about Nobu anymore. Like, I want to forget about him. And then that's when he's looking. He's like, okay, so if you forget about him, what happens when Sachiko at the time, this is the name that they were going to name the baby at first. But like, what if she starts acting like Nobu? Because what if she's, Nobu's child? And are we just never going to bring up Nobu for the rest of her life? Like, we just going to act like that all didn't happen? And he was just like, I can't act like all that stuff between me, you, and Nobu didn't happen, right? Reality is reality, whether you accept the bare facts or not. And she thought that was such like a big thing that he said, like, oh my gosh. Like, let me write that down. Let me write that down. And he's just like, this is a normal thing, right? Like, it's an ordinary saying. And she's like, I don't think so. She said, ordinary is my own crowded thinking, my ideals, my pessimism, my varying subjectivity, to name a few. Okay? She knows. She's self-aware. She knows. She was like, reality is definitely a crooked thing. So and it's, again, this is what I be trying to tell people. And I'm like, did we read the same manga? Because Nana K knows that her version of reality, she skews it, right? Her own crowded thinking, her ideals, her pessimism, her subjectivity. She does not look at things objectively. A lot of the fandom doesn't either. And he was like, oh, so you do understand. And she was like, I always thought I was a strange person, but it's just that aspect of me that's strange. But then this is when she's just appreciating that, okay, this is why Takumi is the way that he is, because of the way he thinks. And this is why I'm able to trust what he says, because he doesn't falter, he doesn't waver, he's objective. And so, yes, he comes off as cold, but he's really just very brutally honest. And she's able to put together, like, this is why he's able to accept me, the real me, flaws and all. Like, she even thinks back to when he was there for her that night, right? And all the things that he was saying. Like, she was like, this is why I trust what he says, though. Because she's easily swayed. Her view on things is skewed. It's not objective, right? But with Takumi, it's like she needs that type of objective person that isn't going to waver. That's going to tell it like it is, call her out, but also accept her and himself. He ain't nothing either, but he accepts her for being that same way. And he's going to be that objectivity when she's floating in subjectivity through the day to day. So with that being said, even when I say that Nana K knew, at some point she knew Nana O had feelings for her, right? Let alone even her knowing that she had feelings, right? And this is not as soon as they met each other. No, like over time they fell in love with each other. But it makes sense because it's the same thing, right? When Nana O left the apartment and they saw that those glasses were broken, and Nana K was like, oh my God, I think she hates me. He was like, no, she must really be in love with you. And she was like, no, I don't think it's like that. She said the same thing with Nobu, saying, no, Nana O, it's not like that. Don't worry. He doesn't like me like that. And he was just like, of course I like you like that. You know this. We was just canoodling, okay? You know this. So same thing when Takumi finally calls it out, right? Like this is something that has been kind of like known, right? On both ends of like them fostering these feelings for each other, but it has never been said out loud in front of Nanake, right? By somebody else at that. And for it to be Takumi saying it, she knows he's looking at it objectively. He's not coming at it from a way of just talking, just saying stuff, right? He's for real, right? And so when he says it, that's why her eyes get open. She's like, damn, well, Takumi saying it, it ain't just me. I'm feeling this. It's real. Like this is, he's just being brutally honest. And then that's when her eyes just get watery. Because again, it's like that this is real now. Because she tries to like act like stuff doesn't happen. Even think about the time where she was, talking with Nobu. And this is when she even told Nobu, I didn't even want anybody to know about me and Takumi. I just kind of wanted to act like it never happened. But it's like, again, I'm glad Takumi told her like, hey, this happened though. We can't just act like it didn't happen. I'm sorry. We can't, because again, even with her moving that way, with that whole Takumi Nobu situation, you just trying to move on and act like nothing happened without tying up all these loose ends. This is why it became messy. So we do have to understand we can't just act like stuff ain't happening. You can't just live in a fantasy world, right? But she understands that she does that. And this is why she comes off as selfish as well, because she doesn't think about how she's coming off to people all the time. Like, yeah, she puts on that facade, but she's not thinking about other people's feelings. We even see it in the very beginning with Shoji before they started dating. And, everybody's talking about moving to Tokyo, and she don't have no reason to move out to Tokyo except to just be with her friends. But it's just like, again, Shoji was just like, well, what are you going to do? And she was like, well, I'm just going to do this. Well, I'm going to find a way to do this. And he's just like, that doesn't seem smart. How about you just stay locally and just, again, like live your life for you type shit. And then again, just being like, well, Shoji's going to be there, so I'll just be with you. And again, ignoring his feelings, knowing that he has feelings, but again, just trying to use him as a placeholder for Junko. And this is when he's just like, you think it's fun to cry your eyes out and spit some thoughtless crap and expect everyone to feel sorry for you. He was like, your end goal is simply to have some nice guy who can be with you every second, right? Like, what is this guy-girl kind of friendship? Don't make me laugh. And mind you, he's not saying this because girls and guys can't just be friends. Like, obviously, he's friends with Junko, right? But it's the point in the matter of, like, that's not what Nana K is giving. Of, like, I'm just trying to just be your friend. It quite literally is, I need someone by me all the time to fill that void, right? Until I get a boyfriend, somebody else I can center. Oh, okay, the person I've been clinging to, Junko, she's leaving. So now I need somebody else to fill that spot until I get somebody else who I'm going to give myself to in that way. And yes, that's selfish because you're not thinking about that person. You weren't thinking about Junko when you were centering her, and that's why she got irritated when you were trying to go to Tokyo with her. She was like, no, you do you. I'm gonna do me. And that's why Shoji got irritated, because again, you're not considering his feelings of like, no, I like you, right? I'm not like this, and you're not actually trying to really be friends with me for real. But mind you, it's also as like, this is Nana K's first time even trying to be a friend with a guy. She don't even really know how to do it. So now it's like was her first time even looking at men as humans. You have to understand that. So yeah, she's not doing the friendship thing correctly, if we're going to be real. And she's trying to fill that void. And that is selfish because you're thinking about yourself. And she knows this though. Like she said, I came to this point without realizing my actions and my attitudes. And the people around her know as well. Like, this is why Kyosuke was like, and thinking, he was just like, wow, like you were so selfish in the past. Because she is. And she knows this as well. But I'm saying, like, again, her acting like she doesn't know certain people's feelings or just trying to dismiss them, right? It's a part of that facade. To act like dumb, to act ditzy, to act like, she's just oblivious and she doesn't know these things when she does. But she would just rather forget about these things and move on. Again, not understanding those implications, like, and how that's making the other person feel, so that she can move on and move forward with her happiness. It's a very selfish way to live, right? But a lot of people do this. So it's not like it's just Nana K, but it is good to clock it. And it's good to know that Nana K is this way. And it's good to know that she knows that she's this way as well. Because as you see her move throughout the manga, it enriches her character so that you know, let me not simplify her character. She knows what she's doing, right? This is why, okay, when stuff be hitting the fan and she be trying to cry and stuff, there's layers to even the crying. It's not just, oh, boo-hoo, woe is me. It's also like, oh, the shit hit the fan. And there's probably a possibility that this person's finally going to start looking at me the way that I'm actually been moving. Think about it. For people like Nana K that put so much into their appearance, into their how people perceive them, into that mask, into that facade, they don't want people to see the real them. They want to come off a certain way. So when shit hits the fan and now somebody's able to see, hey, no, actually she lied. Actually, she betrayed him. And yes, it may not be in the exact way they may think because she didn't tell the truth. She wasn't really honest, but you still betrayed him in some way, shape, or form. That contributes to when, Nana's crying because it's like, oh my gosh, they're going to see the real me. They're going to know that I'm not really the innocent girl next door. And that's scary for her.